Wow, great panel. Having both of you in a panel is my first time as well, and probably yours also. Thank you so much, Cityscape Global, for this opportunity that we can all come together and talk about sports integrity and what SIGA is doing and SIGA Champions is doing. And like you see, we have amazing speakers here. And if you guys want, at the end of the panel, I can also take some Q&As. We have enough time. So, see you again. How is it to be, after your career all together, to be here now in a totally different role with Gilberto, to be in a panel like this?
I think it's always, I would like to say hello to everybody. I think it's always nice to have your friends, because we've gone through so much when it comes to football. You know, the journey is only beautiful when you look back, but whilst you're going through it, it can be hell sometimes. But you grow to kind of, you know, use that pressure, use that ability, and also the players around you. So if you've got a group that is fantastic players who understand that pressure, you go on the journey and you see what was possible, and anything's possible. You know, we came close with a couple of with Champions League, almost there, but other things it was amazing. It was an amazing journey, and we made so many people happy around the world. We broke some records on the way as well, and it's just fantastic, you know. And it's all the love of football as well.
Exactly. So, want to talk, of course, of the power of integrity and the impact you can create. You know, the reach, the new media now, it has a totally different impact than all the years before. You guys are entrepreneurs, investors. You are really actively in charity organizations. You created your own. This is exactly what I would like to talk about today. It's about the life after your career and what you like to share, you know, with the crowd here and with the media. So you are definitely inspiring not just our fans, but you're also inspiring the next generation of players, executives, of fans. You know, we are all in this big ecosystem. So we also in SIGA, we wanted to like showcase, you know, that it's not just one organization, it's all of us. It's a global movement. That's why we're here to talk about this. So Sol, I would like to start with you. So you did so much. I think you shared a couple things, but from your Harvard educational program to your journey as an investor and entrepreneur in tech and sport tech, could you please share some of your?
Well, I think the main thing is we all got different stories when it comes to football. Some of us have won a lot. Some of us have not won as much as everyone on this in this panel. But the main thing for me is going from a successful football career into the next stage of your life, and that can be difficult as well. The transition of understanding you're not a football player anymore. Now you have to be. What are you going to do? There's so many people can go into TV or presenter or whatever, manager, coaches. Not everyone can do that. The spots are really, really tight. I went into the management for a little while, did a good job, but then I said, you know, this is not for me, with the whole environment and the process of me getting into a job and keeping a job. So that's why I kind of, you know, studied at Harvard and I went into kind of more the tech side, the sport tech side, and then now I'm producing those platforms from video podcasts to fitness for footballers, and also eventually I will do the training modules and platforms for a player or a team or individuals or different countries and help them develop and understand football more. So that's what I've got into, and I'm building that. I think we all of us were talking in the car, Louis and Gilberto, about how we help each other going forward as well, which is it was very important because, you know, we are going to the industry that is very relatively new. It's not. There's a lot of people out there some of the platforms are not really what they, what they're kind of made up to be. There's a lot of people who think they're doing a great job, but not. So you got to, sieve through all that kind of scenario and meet good people around the world. And when you sit down and talk, you never know who's in the crowd. You could be an investor in the crowd. It could be someone who could help you with technology. You never know. So you're always on promotion. We're always, as footballers, we're promoting ourselves week in, week out. We're used to that and being under pressure. We just want to, we're going into another environment that is slightly different. But if we use the same methods and understand that, use your trust, use your gut instinct, I think that can help you go forward. And that's helped me going forward to producing these podcasts and video podcasts and technology in sport, because I'm using the same, I'm a worker, I like to build things. And this is another situation I want to build.
I think also you're more than in the power and control of what the story is that you wanted to tell. That's why I think it's amazing to see more and more football players and also other athletes, to create more podcasts, and they control the narrative. So, but I wanted to talk to you again about your tech investments and why you decided to go into talent youth development and scouting.
Well, also I got kind of shoved into it because the lack of opportunity in the job. Yeah. So I said, you know what, I want to be part of football. I'm not on the sidelines, but I'm going to use my knowledge and my acumen to kind of go into something and build something more tangible, more long-term, more me, more where the gaps are in football, where people need help. Sometimes it's not going to be in the traditional parts of the world. It could be the Caribbean, it could be Africa, it could be parts of Asia. That's where I feel, or India, these are the places that need good coaches, good understanding of football, and that's where I want to come in. There's lots more, there's other gaps in football, but that is what I'm building now, and I feel comfortable. I studied information technology when I was a kid, and design realization, but I had to stop it for 20 years, and now, I actually enjoy using my brains now.
Amazing. And we're here to support this. So Gilberto, you have kind of similar adventures, in sport, and not in sports, but also in tech. So I would love to also talk about that. Like when you had all your glories, how did you started, to prepare your career after football?
Well, it's great to be here. Just talk a little bit about, especially the transition from football to a business side, which is not always so easy because you have to go very deep into what you want to do, to achieve, and also to inspire people. Before I stopped playing football, I always start thinking about the future, how I want to finish my career, how I want to build up from when I stopped. But I have to start it before to build up the future while I was playing, and I start to invest on a different business, especially on properties, like on the real estate. But later on, especially in the last few years, I'm more into tech, where I, together with my business partner, Tim Chase, is back in the UK. We launched, basically 1 year ago, at this time, we launched Striver. What Striver is? Striver is a social media platform for football, and for the fans to engage, for the players to be where they also feel safe to be there, as we call a safe space to interact with with the football fans, and also have an opportunity to speak to your idol, but also a safe place for kids, because I'm a father. I want my kids to use technology, but be on a safe environment. Mm-hmm. The purpose when my business partner built this platform was to safeguard one of his kids. When he mentioned that, I said, oh, wow, this is the purpose of it. This is what I'm connected to, because if it's good for his kids, it's good for my kids. But then I start to look at football. As we have seen, a lot of players having received a lot of online abuse. Sometimes go onto the field like many type of abuse, racism, but then extend to the social platform, like the social media, which is terrible because they finish the game and they are scared of using it. Using Striver, you don't have that because all this content is moderated before it gets uploaded. It means that there is a safe space where you can talk to people without being scared of somebody coming to you. But I speak to them, in the cars. It's about, after football, we build up something. The point is, how can we support each other? How we create opportunities for ourselves, for other people who wants, sometimes there is a lack of opportunities in the industry of football, but create something where we are connected and supportive to each other.
I think it's amazing that both of you really created your own, and you were not depending on others to reach out to you. You found the right partners, and then you started to create your own because you analyzed what was missing and what had to change. And that's exactly what we were talking about at Sieger. We have to create change and structural change, and we can only create that if we are the role models and we use our power and we build our network and we find the right people. Besides you, it's also Roberto Carlos, so another legend, and I think it's incredible that you guys started with all this massive social media. It's very important for the mental health, like you said, of football players and athletes to have a social environment and social media environment, where they can feel free and be, of course, with the core values represented, but also shouldn't be scared. And I know it must be, because you talked to me about this. It's a lot when you're out there performing, and it's not always a good season. So you're getting a lot of hate, what I saw, and also a lot of bad media, and then you don't know probably how to handle that as a youth athlete, a young athlete. So, but besides Striver, I know you guys are so active, and that's why with the mental health, I also would like to highlight, I think it's next week on the 17th of November, you have the Striver at event, and it's, personally, it touched me a lot to hear the story, but like to share this with the crowd.
Yeah. Well, from next weekend, we have a Striver 8, which is a charity football match in collaboration with an organization called Calm. We collaborate with their campaign at the moment. They do an amazing job dealing with, I think, a big issue nowadays with the mental health for people. And we, as a former player, we have seen that a lot of players are suffering that as well. Mental issues regarding depression, regarding the amount of games and different aspects of sports, they find it difficult. And sometimes what I feel is that for men is even more difficult because sometimes we don't express ourselves. Mm-hmm. We don't talk to people. And some people are taking their lives. This is what Calm does, dealing with this kind of situation, issues, and supporting people with psychologists, psychiatrists, and many volunteers. And we are in this football church match in support of what they are doing in their campaign at the moment. And we are happy to that because this is our core values as an organization, as a company, as a Striver, because we want to generate values to people, according to the principle we have for life, for myself and Roberto Carlos and some other players and former players we have with us. So also is part of the project as ambassador. But, we want people with this integrity, that they were a big part of football, show that they have values. We want people who think the same way to support people around the world. I believe that together we can do a lot of things, and this match for us means a lot because it's part of what we want to give back to, not only to football, but for the world.
And hopefully next year we do a match together. We include more Sieger champions. So this is what we can also kick for. Luis, I heard amazing things about your projects as well. Could you please explain me Access Stars, how it started? How was your journey after your life in Korean football?
Thank you for I don't know if you...
Yes, now.
Yes, that's a privilege to be here. So thank you for that.
So the journey started as many of us when you have the chance to fulfill your dream. You realize a few things during your career, few gaps. So I said during my transition, I wanted to do something that was a bit more, let's say, driving by that. I wanted to have a bit more innovation, so I started to create that community. This is very important, to build a platform where people can come together, have a sense of togetherness. It's not something that it's possible to do even if we play every week. We are in a dressing room. It's still kind of a divided environment. We don't speak, we don't share as much. So I wanted to build a community that you have in your hand. So basically having this application model, it's a very, very strong, powerful tool. So building this community where you can share, where you can have information, like people can tend to control this information, don't give you the access of the good information. It was important for me to put that together in a sense that you, as a football player, have a short career. You have few opportunities. You have a few people you're going to meet. Most of the time, your agent take 5 years to show you their true face. So you can make a lot of mistakes. So I wanted to have something where some was a lot of experience, good and bad ones can do this sharing experience. And obviously, when you have to pick some partners, some companies, you have to do some investment, you have to put your children into education, you have to do a lot of things during that career, very short one. You should do less mistakes. And that's what this platform is about. So I'm very, very committed to that. But it's just about creating a community. We have like different ways to do that. Gilberto has done brilliant work with Striver, where he tried to build this environment where a lot of inspirational figures can share their experiences and say, this is not ethical for me. I don't want to have my name, my brand attached to that brand. So this is what we're trying to do. It's all about creating communities, safe for one, with integrity, with kind of like parameters that we can control. And this is the discussion in the car. We want to be together, but the industry in itself tends to divide us.
Yes.
And this is something I'm really fighting. That's why I joined SIGA 4 years ago. I was Chiga champion, but before I joined when they just started, because I felt really difficult to get that message across. Get those players together, working together for a common project or common mission, extremely hard. Extremely hard. Why? Maybe sometimes it's jealousy. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes it's just the environment that you have around you. You have
Perception.
agents.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever.
Yes.
You have maybe media. You have maybe sometimes federation. All those things are not totally in line with this come together. Share together. Be bold, be courageous to do things together. This is not how things are done in the environment of sport, or not enough. And that was, I think, the mission of SIGA, is to do that first. So I felt really, really encouraged to do that. And they supported me, and I tried to support them, try to promote that.
I totally agree with you. I think diversity and inclusion, gender equity, there's so many core values what we have, and what you were now talking about this is exactly what we see the lack. That's why we're here. And so how did you, when you were, I want to go a little bit more deeper into that feeling. So when you were out there kind of alone, right? And then you were looking for a team player, a new team player for your new journey. So you started joining SIGA as a SIGA champion the first time in 2000. It's almost 5 years. So you will be rewarding, hopefully, next year with your 5 years anniversary. But that is incredible. That's why we wanted to announce today more Sieger champions. And it's very important because you all created something separately from your own network, your own inspiration, you know, your own adventures out there, not having that support or knowledge. Maybe you all gained that over the years, had education, built your own team. So this is incredible. It's very inspiring. So this is the next and the second career, you know, we have to talk about more. So what is your inspiration with Sieger? How do you see yourself in the future with Sieger?
To be totally honest, I see myself as a promoter, as an ambassador, but at the same time, we have to shift this as owners. We have to own our own narrative, whatever our missions need to be very clear. We need to go into those places where we say, we have this mission and we want to promote it in such a way. We don't want to be just ambassadors.
Yes.
This model has been done for many, many years, and I think we can implement so much more. We can give so much more. If we have been, like Simon Colissimo was just said before, where we just been consulted, I think it's not enough now. We need to be a bit more than that and have the confidence. But for that, we need to come together, able to educate ourselves, try to understand the strategy. That's what we started to talk with Gilberto in the car, and understand how we can use the platform. So this platform is amazing.
Yes.
We have like tremendous people inside. Some are very knowledgeable. Some have like a lot of connection. Some have like financial capacities. How we can use that for the same mission that we have, because it could be on the right, but a bit on the center. But at the end, we want to have a better life for the next generation.
Exactly.
And if we don't represent it correctly, with integrity, with a bit of rules is nothing to do against restriction. It's about education.
Yes.
But it have to be implemented in a certain way that it brings confidence then, you know, like a few years on the line, you have a bit more, you know, knowledge, confidence about how to spread the words. And this is what I think we have to do day by day, with a bit of courage at first, and then organization, and then we spread it as real ambassadors.
Yeah, and we have at Sieger the universal standards, and we need to implement that more in clubs and organizations. Where do you think would you implement this more, in which regions? Like, would you start?
Is in within ourselves. The change starts with us.
Yes.
As players, we are the biggest ambassadors. We have in this country one of the most followed player in the world, or human being in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo. If individually he keep doing what he's doing, a lot of kids will follow. We have to implement that within ourselves, and not thinking that whatever we see in the social media, there is a shortcut. Some people get money very quickly. Some people cheat and think that is right. That's not what we want to promote for our kids. So we really have to manage a certain image and put it out there, ask help from people who really understand what we're saying, because if you come there, I've traveled a lot of those conferences and I hear marketing. And I don't want marketing. I don't want to be used in that. I want to be able to press a button that this works and do this result, fine. And then when we have done in one place, whether like this country or this region, we can promote very easily. But we have to really make sure that we educate it, we have the strategy right, and we have the right support, and then it's going to be viral, because social media is a real tool of virality.
Exactly. Yeah. And you have the tools with our universal standards, and also with Sieger. Yeah. You have our full support. And coming to the region, Nicolas, I mean, you experienced a lot in this region, so we would love to talk about that, first of all, of course. But I would would love to know, like, how was your journey after playing? Because I know you went directly into football management. So can you just share that, please, with us a little bit?
Yes, with pleasure. Hello, everybody. The difference between me and my colleague is obviously the career that they made and I haven't. But despite that, I understood immediately when I finished to play that was important to get a certain knowledge to keep working in the football industry. That's why I immediately apply in several courses, and recently I got the FIFA diploma in club management that eventually allowed me to also cover a position last year as a sporting director of a club in the Saudi Pro League, Al Fateh. And that was an amazing experience because I got the possibility to experience from within what's going on in this country. That it's just amazing, you know. And I believe that for those that love football, it's a little bit like those who like to surf. You are looking for the bigger waves, and the wave here is big, and I think it will continue to grow. But as everyone already said, I think that it's important to approach opportunity with the right mindset and with the right preparation. Otherwise, you are missing opportunities. And this country is giving a lot of opportunity to everybody. There is a great willingness to grow and succeed. I think it's something that needs to be done gradually, as they are doing. There is no magic recipe or shortcut, so everything takes time. And again, my first experience was just great in Saudi, and I'm glad to come back here anytime to share my experience, to learn from others. And I think it's symptomatic to see how every one of us highlighted something that doesn't have much to do with the technical side of football. And that tells us that there is much to do outside of the pitch. Football today needs a proper setup, a proper organization to manage top-level athletes, because before players were starting and ending their career mainly in their own countries. Nowadays, totally the opposite. Every player wants to make an experience in other country. And other countries need to be prepared to welcome players from different culture. So I think the phase 2 of the Saudi football should also consider that by bringing into football clubs more professional people that can structure the club properly in order to get a better impact on the technical side. And yeah, that's basically my experience so far in Saudi and previously. But again, I understood from the beginning, thanks to the courses I follow that it's important to get this kind of knowledge. It's not something that because you played, you get automatically. If you are in the water, you want to learn to swim if somebody doesn't tell you how to do it. So you drown. And
also you need practice also outside of the pitch. And that's exactly the areas you all like expanded to. And this was also then the reason why you joined the charity organization Unbeatables?
Exactly. Since almost 10 years, I started to join a charity organization that raises awareness on the topic of sudden cardiac arrest, which is a problem that causes 7 million deaths every year worldwide. And sometimes we hear about some famous athletes losing their life because of that. But there is no proper solution nowadays unless try to make a proper diagnosis before and put in place a rescue action to shortcut the time of intervention. Therefore, with our association, we go to clubs and federation, informing players how to get individually checked for their own safety, or how the club can check their players because you know, they are performing for the clubs. But we also extended this kind of activity to the fans, because we don't have to forget that football exists because of the fans. Without fans, there won't be football, and it won't be one of the most followed sports in the world. So recently, we put in place a methodology that is that covers not just the safety of the athletes, but also the fans. And we did it through an application that is able to geolocate everybody who enter in the stadium. And if something happened, they have the possibility to be rescued immediately. So in the life-saving chain, the most important action is arrive as soon as possible, making a CPR having a defibrillator with you. So all these practices we have included in a protocol that we love to share with federation and club in order to make the football environment, the sport environment in general, a safer place. And this is what I started to do 10 years ago. And this is also an example how, even if you haven't made the career that my colleague made, you can still have a strong impact into football thanks to football, because the football can reach millions of people around the world.
Yes, and people underestimate that you have 60, 80,000 people in a stadium, and with different backgrounds, of course, but also like probably health problems they're not aware of. So that's definitely an amazing charity organization. Thank you for highlighting that, and also we would love to see what we can do together next year. You know.
Pleasure.
So I have 10 minutes. Is anyone ready to shoot a question to any of them? You can just raise your hand and I will take the question if anyone feels like. Sure, there's a mic.
One question to Louis with regarding Axis Stars. What support did you get from the Federation or the Pro League or any of the environments around you to prepare you for your post-career as an athlete? And that's what Axis Stars is trying to achieve today. But did you feel like there was support from the rest of the system?
It's a really good question, in a way that every time we spoke about it, even in the car, I went through an operation a year ago, pay for it, because I didn't know that the PFA itself was capable of like participating to this financing in a way that was 60 or 70%. So it's not about like the support, it's about like putting some kind of information somewhere and say that you have done your job. This is basically what they're doing. So federation, unions, they're doing whatever they're saying they're doing, but it's not very accessible. It's not very promoted correctly. So us players, members of any platforms, not gonna have that access to the information on social media, but this is where we go. So it's not optimal, sorry. So basically, when I started to discuss with the federation or unions and all that, they all, let's say, shake your hands, understand your project, the mission of your platform, but they tend to want or remain in control. So that's the problem. So we didn't have that support yet. The only way to work, that's what we have seen, is to work together with players, to come and understand how we can share those things and how we can grow the pressure to the federation, using SIGA as one of the tools as well, because they have the access as well to different members who want integrity, who want transparency, want efficiency. This is the way, because I understood, try to be short, understood during my journey that it's obvious that the sport director, the president of the federation, not trying to make any accusation, but they are working with different KPIs. So basically their result is about getting more money. I think Nicola can understand this. It's about the pressure. It's different than the one who is a player who is here to perform. The director, manager, or the chairman is here to win trophy or to win like more money at the end on his spreadsheet. So that's the thing. So I understood that, and I say, oh, okay, we have to organize better. We have to really educate better. Like this, we can a bit more control what we can do with those people, because they won't change unless we are creating the change.
One of the important aspects in these questions is like, as a player, we contribute a lot on the pitch, right? I think what the people sometimes don't really understand is how much we can still contribute with our ideas, with the experience we've got throughout football. And now, as we don't play anymore, but we have a lot of ideas, a lot of things we can keep contributing to football, to a better game, to a better transparency, integrity, values, bring back to football. We want to participate. We want to still be part of football. But we want also, the federations, confederations, clubs, just open and make their actions. Of course, it's good when they listen to us, but we would love to see, let's say, okay, I got your idea, I got a point, let's implement this. This bring values to my club, this bring values to my federation, this bring values to the next generation of players, the next generation of supporters. Because this is what we want. We want to support the game. If we talk here, 4 people here, we have different projects that in the end can be part of the same way of thinking, the same vision, where can be implemented for the clubs, for the fans, for the federations, and everything. If the people understand that, I believe together we can do a lot of things together.
Yeah.
Perfectly explained. Any other question over there?
Gilberto, first of all, thank you for your idea. Striver seems like a very good platform. I'd like for you to explain more, how do you intend to attract users and eventually players to the platform? Because as good as it sounds, it's very hard to compete with Instagram, with Facebook, with the current social medias. So how do you intend to attract more users to your ecosystem?
That's a great question. One of the things that is so important for Strive, because we are not here to compete to any other. This is the great thing. We know that Strive is not for everybody. I think we want to attract the right people who have the right values to be there as a partner, as people who want to use the platform. Because first of all, we are a fun engagement platform, like the others. We want to share, celebrate life in the platform when you achieve something outside, but go there to celebrate with us. But also, we look at the safeguarding of people, the players, the kids, and the football itself. And we want people who share this value, to be part of it. We want to contribute to the world with our values, as we believe. And to attract more people with the same mentality, we have ambassadors like Campbell, Jens Lehmann, some other former players and current players, female players, and content creators who understand the concept we want to bring to the world. It's been amazing because we understood that a lot of people, sometimes they are there in some other social platform, but some of them because they have contracts, some of them, they are there, but they don't really interact to each other. And we want people to interact, to support each other. It's about, I'm there as a Striver user to support you to support somebody else. As we talk, because if we come together, support each other, 1 + 1 is not 2, it's 3. Because we create another way of how can we bring more people, attract more people, how can I inspire others to become a better person, a better professional, and to give value to the world. This is what we want. This is the good thing about, we have things, for example, from the other platforms they have, like fun engagement, but we have something which is the moderation against online abuse and this kind of thing that at the moment does not work or work on a different way. For us, if you want to upload on any content, it has to go through a filter of moderation. If the AI understands that is positive, and then you can see. Which means for us, this is very important because if we stop any kind of racism and any kind of harassment before it goes live, it means that we protect somebody else. We protect the kids, we protect the football players, we protect, everyone who wants to be part of a Striver community.
Because at the end of the day, they are all human beings. They have feelings, and they take it very personal, what is said and written about them. And then the volume of hate sometimes what they are receiving is incredible. Like, it's unimaginable, because we cannot imagine this, that something like this mobbing, this manipulation also in social media is happening every single day, and then it becomes the normal. So therefore the youth protection is a core value also at Sigara, and we definitely stand for whatever Striver tries to do is an abuse-free social media platform.
But I must say that we have also speak to the football clubs and federations as well. You know, the question was to you, Luis, about how the federation is approaching your project. I spoke to many of them as well, you know, just to see Striver as a partner.
Yes, exactly. We are the community. We have to make sure that we are all aligned, and then we do our best for good governance and sports integrity. So thank you so much for being here, flying out to Riyadh. Thank you so much for the city to hosting us, Cityscape Global, for this amazing conference. We would like to do one last picture for our community, and then thank you so much, Jessica. I would give it over to you.